Hello and welcome to Shoot the Hostage with me, Sarah, and my partner Dan. We're a movie podcast and we cover 8 films per season on a specific theme. Now, we swear, we chat major spoilers, and we occasionally cover triggering topics, so please do use listener discretion. If you like what we do and want to support us, consider hitting 5 stars on Spotify, or maybe subscribing or even reviewing on your platform of choice. We also have a Patreon with a free tier for lineups and updates, and 2 paid tiers with extra content and early ad-free uploads. Right, on with the show.
Sarah, it's time for a pinch of Lynch because today we're talking about Lost Highway.
Yep.
Continuing your liminal spaces theme, we've got some help today. Joining us for the second time on the podcast, it's world's leading expert on David Lynch, Jamie from Final Transmission. Thanks for being here, Jamie, and I'm looking forward to you solving everything David Lynch, given your expertise.
Oh yeah, we're not leaving till this. We figure this movie out. We're here for the long haul, right?
Locked in for days.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
I need to obviously preface that I am not an expert in David Lynch.
He's just saying that. He's just being modest.
Yeah. We need your help this time. So no pressure.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best.
Jamie, first question. Sarah sent you the lineup ahead of time.
Yes.
So you know all the movies we covered.
Yeah.
Didn't fancy Messiah of Evil, didn't fancy Picnic at Hanging Rock.
So Lost Highway is my favorite David Lynch movie.
Interesting.
So I saw it on the list and was like, I'm locked in. There was a couple that I was like, yeah, I could go for that. But Lost Highway was the one where I was like, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you saw it on the list, you're like, yep, that's my favourite Lynch movie, and we'll get into the questions about why that is, I'm sure. Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any other David Lynch movies in contention?
I did kind of go back and forth between this one and Mulholland Drive. I'll be honest, like I'm not super well knowledgeable about David Lynch and his movies. I like the ones that I've seen, but there's quite a lot of his back catalogue that I haven't seen. But ultimately, I have fond memories of watching this, probably early 2000s.
It's funny because I have this film inextricably linked to you in my brain.
Do you?
Only because I could hear you in my head saying rising star Balthazar Getty. Like, I feel like we maybe had, or you had the DVD like at some point and we're just laughing at the back of the DVD box saying rising star Balthazar Getty. And yeah, ever since then, I can't think of this film or Balthazar Getty without hearing you say that in my brain.
That's fair. Do you know what that's from? Do you remember that movie Feast?
Oh, was it Feast? Yeah.
Yeah. And he was described as rising star Balthazar Getty. But bear in mind, this is in 2006 or something. Yeah. So bizarre
That's
phrasing.
Mad.
Yeah.
To me, he's the kid from Young Guns 2. Which was in 1989, 1990.
Yeah, he was a kid actor. He was in the Lord of the Flies adaptation.
Yeah.
He was in a bunch of stuff as a kid. So I think that's why it stuck in my head, because it was really bizarre phrasing. Like, how long has his star been rising at this point?
He's still rising now.
Yeah.
68 years old.
I don't understand how Balthazar Getty isn't leading a CSI franchise or a Law and Order. Like, he's built for it.
Yeah.
Is he not? I just assumed that he would be. Like a Miami Vice or something. Is that still on that show?
They brought it back, didn't they? I didn't see the Miami Vice reboot.
No, passed me by, I guess. I just assumed that the original show was still on. Thanks, Michael Mann.
Is that why you picked the shirt?
I guess it was, yeah. I had Miami Vice on the brain already, I guess. Jamie, if Sarah had picked Mulholland Drive, do you think that you would have still gone for Lynch, or would others have stood out to you?
I mean, I do like Triangle a lot, and obviously Prince of Darkness is on the list, and John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors, and that's one of his sort of most weird but great movies, sort of a bit underappreciated. So I may have erred over that way a little bit.
Okay. But you saw Lost Highway, you're like, yeah, no, that's the one.
Absolutely,
gotta do it.
that's the one, yeah.
So we expect answers from you, is what we're saying.
Well, I've got answers. You might not like them. The answer is strobe jazz.
Oh, no. That's one of my first notes. Saxophones and strobe lights are two of my least favourite things in the world.
Is it because it's what's playing in your brain at all times?
No, I try not to go near it. But Bill Pullman, it's such a dilemma. I like one of three of the things in that scene.
One of them, and it's Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman blowing on a massive instrument.
Yeah, I like him less after having seen that.
What is it about saxophone players in this show? We keep covering movies with blokes that play the saxophone, and we haven't even done The Lost Boys yet.
I know. We should have done a saxophone season, really.
We should have done a saxophone season. We can do it still. Jamie, don't forget to join us for that one.
Absolutely. You have to change the name to like Honk the Instrument or something, but
just for that one season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, it was pretty early when Bill Pullman started blowing into that saxophone. And I must admit, like, after last week with the ethereal panpipes in Picnic and Hanging Rock, between that and almost immediately seeing jazz saxophone, I was like, this is not a good start for this movie.
Well, in fairness, the first music we hear is David Bowie, so...
True.
Yeah.
Way better.
Sarah picks another movie with David Bowie music in it.
It's hard not to. Do you know how many films have Bowie music in them?
Do you
There's
also
at least 5?
Do you also find yourselves picking movies that have I Put a Spell on You, like the Marilyn Manson cover on it?
I try not to as a rule, but I'd forgotten about that.
It comes up quite a lot.
Does it? And what else is it in?
That's a question that I wasn't prepared to answer.
It's in Ernest Goes to Prison, I think.
I feel like it's in more than one movie, right?
I don't know. I can name other movies with Marilyn Manson songs in, but not that one specifically.
I can only name one.
Is it this one?
Is it
I can name 2.
Not another same movie.
Is it House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah. My favourite Jeffrey Rush movie. My second favourite Taye Diggs movie.
After Go, of course.
My third favourite Taye Diggs movie.
Oh, what else then?
Equilibrium.
Oh, right.
Gun Carter, because it's a great movie. It's a classic.
It's all right.
Equilibrium. Right. Not a good movie, sorry. But there's like a trifecta of movies that this movie, Lost Highway, reminds me of. And they're a bit weird because it's The Matrix, Dark City, and Equilibrium. And is that just that sort of weird late 90s flavour?
I guess it must be. I don't know. I can definitely see a bit of crossover with Dark City because of like the neo-noir feel of them both.
Yeah.
Less so the other two.
Well, I think The Matrix and Dark City are the same movie in my brain. They use a lot of the same sets, and I guess the sort of duality of personhood. I guess also Lost Highway could have been one that you picked in your last season.
Yeah. We have covered Dark City. Yeah. And there's a lot in common. That part where Rufus Sewell turns into Balthazar Getty, obviously.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That happens more than you care to admit, really.
What happened to Rufus Sewell? Where did he go?
He played Prince Andrew a few years ago in a Netflix movie.
No, he didn't. He was in that Pizza Express, remember?
Oh, yeah. That was it. Not Sweating.
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't even realise that Marilyn Manson was in this movie I had no idea. He's in it for like a frame, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a frame too much.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
because we don't
second-
like him, do we?
No, my second favorite Marilyn Manson movie,
After.
Party Monster.
Oh, yeah. You didn't like that, did you, Dan?
I don't remember it.
Oh,
It's very memorable.
I think so. I know I made you watch it about a year ago.
No, I'm terrible with titles. If you described it to me, I'd probably remember it.
Well,
Hey-ho.
that's a different tangent.
Yeah.
Did you know that Balthazar Getty was in Megalopolis?
I didn't until I looked it up today. I don't remember him in that film.
Have
you seen that, Jamie?
I haven't seen Megalopolis.
Oh my God. We had the displeasure of seeing that at the cinema. I think there were about 12 people at the start of the screening. By the end of it, there were about 5 of us left.
Yeah.
And we were very drunk.
I love like an overblown failure. So I think that maybe I'm the target audience for Megalopolis.
Maybe you'll get a lot out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ambitious, but ridiculous.
Yeah. It's not good by any metric.
It's awful. It's awful. I've got a question, actually. The first question I want to ask is, do you think they ever found the highway? And I'll open that up to the floor.
No, I think it remains lost to this day.
They happened upon it a couple of times, didn't they? But then they lost it again.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it a few times.
It's always in the last place you look.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly, I didn't know until doing research for this show, but Lynch apparently said a few years after this came out that he was subconsciously influenced by the O.J. Simpson trial. Which,
yeah, we saw that. So I heard that today somewhere, but that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Only,
sense.
4 years after that?
Yeah, it must have been pretty close. But it makes sense in terms of the themes of the film, but also the highway chase stuff. But he didn't realize it at the time. It was years after that it occurred to him.
Yeah, I think that like David Lynch maybe doesn't experience time in the same way that the rest of us do anyway.
Certainly not now.
Well, yeah.
I don't think
it's
David
all
Lynch...
meditation.
Yeah, true. I don't think he experiences much in the same way that the rest of us do. I think he was sort of in a league of his own.
Yeah, there's a really good story from Henry Rollins from the set of this where he would have all of his conversations through a megaphone.
Okay.
Because he thought it sounded cool. And he also wore a cap with like a really, really long peak. So like no one could get within a foot of him.
Oh, I like that. I'm surprised people didn't market that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Why not? That sounds like the best tool for that.
Yeah.
They spent hundreds of thousands putting in plastic screens that they took out 3 months later.
Could have just done big hats.
Yeah. And you can retrofit that as well. It's not like you need to manufacture new hats. You can just manufacture new peaks and clip them onto the front of the peaks. This is genius.
Yeah. If you did 2 Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bringing it back. Jamie, are you a Twin Peaks fan?
I am a Twin Peaks fan, but, and this is a big bone of contention between me and Sam on Final Transmission, is that I've not watched The Return.
Oh, I haven't either. I really like the original series, but I've never watched the 3rd season.
Yeah. I'll get to it eventually. I just sort of am worried it's going to be crap, and I'm sure it's not going to be crap, but like those first 2 series, the first series especially, are some of the best things that have ever existed.
It's pretty special.
Yeah.
So if the subsequent stuff is not to your taste, will it affect your viewing? Like if you go back to series 1 and 2?
I mean, it depends on what happens.
Okay.
I guess if like, I don't know, it's sort of already kind of ruined. Series 2 kind of undercuts series 1. So if series 3 undercuts both of them, then it would be really, really bad.
How do you feel about the movie?
I like the movie because I saw it first, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember they released it in the UK before the show as like a standalone. Remember when they used to do that when it was like they would cobble together like 2 episodes of a TV show and release it as a movie.
Yeah,
have like a bunch of like The Flash with John Wesley Shipp, where they would just like bung 2 episodes together and release it as like a feature length movie. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess this is a movie, but like the characters all change halfway through.
Right, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember the first X-Files episodes I watched were the 2 Eugene Victor Toombs ones that were packaged together. It was very strange. Yeah, go on.
Do you think Americans thought that we couldn't handle like long form narrative seasons of shows and we could only the British attention span is famously only 90 minutes or something?
Maybe. I don't think that's one of our stereotypes though, is it?
No. Bad teeth and bad attention.
Food? They don't like our food.
Well, I think they're coming around to it based on all of the stuff that I see on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I would go as far as to say I enjoy the film more than the show. And I like the show a lot. But yeah, it's pretty divisive, isn't it?
I think like one of the things in the show that is massively underused is the girl that plays Laura Palmer.
Okay.
So like there's a lot more of her in Fire Walk with Me. So I really rate that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I'm struggling to remember her name now. My brain's just saying Sherilyn Fenn, but I know
literally mine too.
Yeah, I know that's not right.
Cheryl Lee.
Ah, there we go. And you don't even like it.
That's
because I like John Carpenter's vampires.
Oh.
How do you feel about John Carpenter's? Not John Carpenter's Vampires de los Muertos or whatever it's called, the second one with Bon Jovi.
Oh, the one with Bon Jovi. Oh Lord. I think I rented it because I liked the first one, but it wasn't very good if I remember correctly.
It's a shame. Bon Jovi could have been a real guy.
He was a rising star then. Rising star Bon Jovi.
Just
living on a prayer.
Him and Balthazar Getty.
He was halfway there. I mean, if he'd just carried on, he could have got there.
Please stop. No more Bon Jovi puns.
Yeah. It's weird that they didn't put him in a Western because he is a cowboy.
It's bad enough when there's only one of you.
Yeah. He was quite in demand. I heard he was wanted, dead or alive. I don't know an awful lot more Bon Jovi songs.
No, that's it for me. I'm
it's
afraid.
Probably for the best.
Oh no, do you know what though? I can't remember what his last role was, but I heard he went down in a blaze of glory. Something.
Yeah.
Does David Lynch always write his movies? Does he like co-write everything? Because I know this was co-written by, who was it? Barry Gibb. Gifford, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not Barry Gibb.
But Lynch is credited as a co-writer. So does anyone know the situation there? Jamie, as the world's leading expert in David Lynch, does he write his stuff? Does he tell someone else his ideas? Is it a more collaborative approach?
This is a really good question for the leading expert in David Lynch.
Well, I'm glad you're here then.
He is credited as a writer on all of his movies. I don't know like what his writing process actually looks like, but he does tend to have a co-writer or a collaborator on most things, and I think that it's everything that he makes has a sort of similar flavor, but also a very different flavor, and I have to attribute that to him working with different writers.
I thought I'd seen more Lynch, but doing research for the show, he's only made 10 movies, 10 narrative features, and I've only seen 2 of them, including Lost Highway. So I've seen Mulholland Drive, I've seen Lost Highway, and for me, they're very similar movies. They're both LA movies. I know his last movie, Inland Empire, was also an LA-based movie.
Yeah.
But for me, out of the David Lynch stuff that I've seen, it's very similar, or it feels that way anyway. But you could always, I feel like I could tell a Lynch thing a mile off, really. But then there's a lot of copycats as well. There's a lot of people, particularly recently, a lot of films I've seen, and it feels sort of David Lynch. It's just his sort of flavour. So I would have been very surprised if he didn't have a hand in writing all of his movies. And it feels like sort of control that he would be unwilling to relinquish, I guess, because he was an artist, wasn't he? Like of many sort
Yeah.
of areas. And I know that the Barry Gibb, the writer on Lost Highway, before he had his music career, he was also a poet and an author, or he is. I'm not sure if he's alive or not, but he was a poet and an author, like very literary type person. And I guess that's where a lot of the more intellectual stuff comes in. And then that's when I sort of get lost and I'm like, I don't get this. This is a bit much for me. But I can tell his style a mile off. And yeah, I would have been surprised if he didn't write all of his stuff, or at least have a major influence in it. Wasn't there one film that was kind of off the beaten track for him? That's a bit out of left field. What was that called? The Straight Story? Was it that one?
Oh yeah. Is that the Harry Dean Stanton drives a tractor thing?
Is it?
It sounds great.
I don't think it's Harry Dean Stanton, is it?
Is it not?
I think he's in it, but I don't think he's the guy.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it. I remember it came out in the late 90s. I want to say like 99 maybe.
Yeah. That's probably his most linear movie.
It's a straight story, you might say.
Yeah. Although I think that the Lost Highway is for Lynch for Lynch in this period as well, maybe maybe one of his more linear films.
Out of the two that I've seen, Mulholland Drive and this one, I think I know roughly what happens in this one.
Yeah.
And Mulholland Drive, it seems to me that I don't know, some small blue people ran out of a box or something. I'm not sure why. Yeah. No, I think in terms of story of this one, like there's loads that I don't understand. It just goes way over my head. But I think I've got the basics down.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that.
I've got a question for you, for both of you, really. Is Fred Madison the alpha, or is Pete Dayton the alpha? Like, does Fred Madison imagine that he's Pete Dayton, or does Pete Dayton imagine that he's Fred Madison?
Personally, I think it's the first one. I think Fred is our protagonist. But there are so many different theories out there. I don't know. There are theories that both of them are valid, both of them are real, and that the stories are happening concurrently. And I can't say I can really wrap my head around that. But no, I think Fred's our guy.
Okay.
I agree.
Anything to add?
I agree. Well, firstly, you just want Bill Pullman to be real, and he is, so it's fine. Secondly, I think for me, yeah, Bill Pullman is the real one. He imagines Balthazar Getty as a sort of disassociative thing. When he's in prison, I've done this terrible thing. I want to become, not consciously, someone else. It doesn't mean that everything else fits into that, because a lot of things I think might seem contradictory to that. But I think for me, that's what it's doing. And I've struggled to see it any other way. I think because at that point, to me, it's starting to overcomplicate things. And I'm like, no, that's too much for me.
I know what you mean. That's like the most straightforward way to interpret it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's right as well. I think that's what David Lynch is getting at. It's the idea of like I think the key to the movie, like the key that unlocks the movie for me, is the scene where Fred is talking to the cops, and he's talking about how he doesn't.
Oh yeah, the video camera thing.
Cameras because he wants to remember things in his own way.
And
I think that I think the Balthazar Getty stuff is him remembering his life up until the point that he murdered Renee.
Right. Okay.
And him interpreting it differently to make her the villain when really he's the villain.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think it's about sort of like guilt and shame and the ways that we can kind of distort things in our mind to run away from that, maybe.
Yeah.
And like the scene that you touched on just there, then Jamie, with how he wants to remember things the way he wants to remember them, not the way that they actually happened. That was a huge line for me as well, and clued me into. I knew that was important at the time, but it clued me into it for sure. And it's a very interesting subject as well. Something I've thought a lot about memory and what's true and what's not. So it is interesting that they choose to go down that road. I guess it's the perfect kind of theme for Lynch, isn't it, as well? Because it's so subjective in your mind. That's what he's all about. Let's confuse things. Let's muddy the waters. You do all the work. I'm not explaining anything.
Yeah,
I'm going to make you more confused.
Yeah, and I really respect David Lynch for that. I think, I mean, I've talked about this quite a lot more generally, but like I think that we have too much access to the people behind movies these days.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when this is coming out, but like really recently, Zach Cregger has been talking about his new Resident Evil movie and basically has alienated all of the Resident Evil fans before the trailer even came out because he's talking about it like sort of existing separately from all of the Umbrella stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you hadn't said that and you just dropped a trailer, people would be like, well, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Like we've talked about similar things on the show quite a bit in the past. I am not a fan of like people that you would term movie stars because I know too much about them. I don't like watching Tom Cruise in something because I know who Tom Cruise is.
Yeah.
I know way too much about him. So I think that's one of the reasons I sort of gravitate towards independent movies because who the fuck is this guy? I know nothing about him. It's not going to cloud my judgment.
Yeah. If their star never rises, you can spend your entire life watching Balthazar Getty movies and never...
This is true. I know nothing about that guy.
Yeah.
He was in Young Guns too, Sarah.
That's true, yeah, sorry. I know two things about that guy.
It's the greatest Young Guns movie ever made.
I heard that they're making another Young Guns.
How can they? It's called Young Guns.
Old Guns.
Obviously. Yeah.
Geriatric Guns.
Lou Diamond Phillips keeps promoting it, but it's like, guy, you didn't survive Young Guns 2.
Spoilers?
Come on.
I mean,
everyone's seen Young Guns 2.
But Young Guns 2 also is based on like
real life
lies. The lies of a real life person, right? Who sort of turned up in the 40s and was like, I'm Billy the Kid. I'm Emilio Estevez, and therefore you have to believe this story. So maybe Old Guns will be like, do you know what? Actually, Lou Diamond Phillips survived, and he's telling the story.
Oh, you're going to pull the old unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They won't do that, Jamie, because that idea is way too smart. I really like it.
Well, when it comes out, you'll have to come back on the show when we do our Estevez's Best of Us season.
Yeah. I mean, if we were doing that, then that would be Repo Man. That would be my pick for that season.
Agreed, but Dan hates it.
You hate Repo Man?
Do I hate Repo Man?
You didn't like it, let's say that.
Did we watch it together?
No.
Right.
Well, your letterboxd tells me that you didn't like it.
Okay. There's a bunch of movies that I've seen that I don't remember seeing. But Estevez is Bestevez is genuinely a lineup that I want to get to soon. And I know that you love it, Jamie, so we would be honoured if you would come on for Repo Man.
Yeah. You could just hear me gush for as long as you'll let me.
Well, it's that. It'll be that or Free Jack. They're the options.
It's a very short season. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing both of his movies, though.
Not even Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, we've got to do Mighty Ducks. Yeah, we've got to do Young Guns. I've got a season. I've got it locked in. I know what we're doing. Do you know what I would find really exhausting is to do an entire David Lynch season. Oh. I mean, you could have done it. You could have just done all 10 movies. We could have done a 10-episode season and done all of them, but
It
I
would
think,
have
like,
been a head scratcher.
outside of like the 3 movies that you've mentioned, really, like this, Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire, I think his other movies are fairly straightforward. Like,
Okay.
Wild at Heart is, you know, Badlands on acid. And like, obviously Eraserhead is weird, but like it doesn't matter. You're not scratching your head being like, well, that it's just like a bunch of weird visuals. It's just like being punched in the face by a custard pie or something. Like, it doesn't, you don't have to think about it. It's just like, oh, this is vibes. And like, yeah, they're all fairly. Blue Velvet, again, also fairly straightforward.
I've never seen Blue Velvet.
Oh, it's, if you want to watch King Cooper huffing on some gas, then that's the perfect movie for you.
Any day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And ranting about Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I definitely saw. I did actually see The Elephant Man when I was a kid, but it was so long ago that
The actual
I may
guy?
as well not have seen it.
Yes.
Yes, the actual
You
guy.
grew up
I'm
right
very-
near John Merrick.
Yeah, we're neighbours actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, lived in Colchester for a bit.
Do you think that Michael Jackson really bought his bones?
Sorry.
There was a rumor that Michael Jackson bought John Merrick's remains. I mean, I say a rumor. There's a line in a Bare Naked Ladies song that refers to Michael Jackson buying, or it refers to somebody buying John Merrick's remains, and I believe it was Michael Jackson.
I mean, it probably wouldn't have been the
we'll go with
weirdest thing he'd ever done.
No,
Has he done other weird things, Sarah? What's he done?
Let's not get
Did he
into
do-
that. I'm going to swerve that entirely.
Like we did with the Michael biopic, we swerved
I
that
was
one
gonna
entirely,
say.
didn't we?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
Didn't fancy that.
No.
Look how great Michael Jackson is. Is he though?
yeah.
I'm not sure. Sorry.
Do you remember that movie where he turned into a car?
Sorry, what?
Wasn't that Moonraker?
Moonwalker.
Moonraker's James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn into a car. He's got a special pen or something, right?
A magic watch.
Yeah.
It shoots out banana skins or something.
Yeah.
So, moving on. David Lynch has kind of been, I've seen rumblings of like accusations of misogyny over the years. From what I've seen, I don't agree. I'll say that up front. But what do you think of his like representations of women? Because he's quite clearly obsessed with the idea of like the femme fatale.
Well, he's a movie guy, right? He's like an old school style Hollywood director, even though he's working kind of outside the Hollywood system, but sort of amongst it, but not really in it. And I think that like of all of those people, he probably has some of the best sort of attitudes to women.
I think so, yeah.
I think like, you know, the femme fatale thing isn't necessarily a misogynistic thing in Lynch's eyes. It's much more of like these are tropes and touchstones that I can use as like touch points in order for you to understand what's happening. So you've got something to grab hold of in a sort of free falling, weird, insane narrative.
Okay, so just like a familiar visual. Okay, yeah. What about you, Dan?
I think that the femme fatale made me think of noir, which you mentioned. And so for me, it feels like more of a style than a choice to put women in those situations. And also, I think Patricia Arquette in this movie, has she been in other Lynch films? Or is it just this for Patricia?
I don't know, actually.
Was she
Pat.
in...
I call her Pat.
Yeah. Was she in Wild at Heart for a bit, maybe?
I don't know.
She feels like a Lynch person.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, she does. But I see her character in this as having it's tricky. It's hard to say because I feel like the other version of her, the blonde version of her, is in the mind of Bill. But I also feel like that it could be like a fair representation of perhaps more aligned with what she wanted to be. But I don't know if there's like an element of suppression within the relationship, if he was like abusive or like trying to be controlling with her. Like that's the vibe that I got, and that she wanted to be more liberated. I don't know. But I feel like she sort of gets she gets the last word in a way in his dream, that when he was dreaming of being
Oh, when she
Balthazar
says
Getty.
like, "You'll never have me" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She-
I quite liked that even though I'm not sure what's kind of real and that's subjective, but like it feels like a complete arc to me for that character.
Mm.
I just checked, and she was in another Lynch film. She was
Okay.
in Little Nicky.
Oh, of course. Of course. How could I forget? Yeah. Did she play Little Nicky?
I think she was she Big Nicky?
She might have been Big Nicky.
It's been too long since I've seen it. Couldn't
Yeah.
possibly say.
She morphed into Tiny Lister Jr. I mean, I love the noir stuff in this. I think like when he's sort of channeling that very like nailed on noir style, particularly on those phone call shots, it's incredible. It's like almost like some of the most quintessential like noir imagery, maybe like what I picture in my head when I think about like noir. I don't think he's doing anything particularly original or novel with it, but like it's so nailed on that it's like it's really especially good.
Yeah. I mean, visually, this film is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that
does
seems
look
like a really
great.
easy thing to say about a Lynch movie, but he does have like, I don't know, just a perfect sort of control. Like he
Yeah.
knows exactly what he wants, and I don't know, he seems like he would have been a perfectionist for sure.
Yeah. This movie was shot by Peter Deming, who obviously has worked on loads of things. The 3 movies that I wrote down that he worked on before this was Drop Dead Fred's Son-in-Law and My Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
Which is, you know, I'm being incongruous, but like I think those films look really good.
Yeah.
And
Certainly they have like a distinct look, let's say that.
Drop Dead Fred's great. It's very colourful.
Yeah. A thing that I noticed in the shooting of this, which is something, is that the camera is always moving. Like I think it's shot handheld, so it feels like, and even if there's like these really small imperceptible movements, it still sort of feels like it's very handheld. And I think that is maybe to sort of tie it back into the video camera stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, and the sort of shakiness of memory and the sort of, all of that. It's something that I after I noticed it, I was like, well, I can't unsee that now.
I like that. And I think like the handheld stuff as well sort of gives it. See, I'm thinking of specific scenes like when Bill Pullman's kind of walking down that corridor into the darkness. Like it gives it sort of like a more intimate, almost claustrophobic kind of a feel, which I guess is what he was going for in some parts at least.
Yeah. Who is Robert Blake? Not the actor, the character.
I don't know, because I read a thing where he said that he suspected his character was the devil, but I don't necessarily buy into that. But I also don't have a better answer.
I didn't think about him being the devil. I guess I just sort of disregard him, really. It was mean to say. No, I don't. I feel like I'm never going to make any sense of it. So I sort of don't want to think about it, if that makes sense. I don't know why he's there. I don't know why he's trying to orchestrate things. Maybe he's imagined, or maybe he is the devil. Or maybe he's a gingerbread man. Who knows? It's a David Lynch film.
I think about him as the third part of the holy trinity of these characters. He's also Balthazar Getty and
Oh, okay.
Bill Pullman. And it's like, if you sort of think about it in religious terms, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, like that kind of makes sense to me. I've seen people talk about him as sort of representing the actual truth, and that's why he's often pictured with the video camera. So like
Okay.
the not the unreliableness of memory, but like the empirical truth of what actually happened.
Mm.
I've also seen people talk about him as like the conscience of Fred. I don't know about that, but like I also wrote down that is he a sort of vampire? Like he obviously is done. He's sort of dressed and made up to kind of look like Bela Lugosi in that sort of in the original Dracula movie. So like a sort of a Lynchian interpretation of Dracula, I think.
Yeah, because he's got like the dark lips as well, like that actors back then, I guess, would have had for the purposes of contrast in black and white films.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So, and also like, is there a scene where he's like, "You invited me," and like, am I misremembering that?
I'm struggling to think.
Am I highwaying that?
That does sound familiar. They have a few conversations. Well, the one where they were talking about I Met Your Home. Was it there
Yeah,
potentially?
that's the first sort of meeting, isn't it? Because there's the scene before that where he sort of imagines Robert Blake's face on Renee, I think.
Yeah.
Near the start. And then
Some
the first meeting is at the party. Yeah, nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Seamlessly done.
He was always dressed in black, Robert Blake. Just as you were talking there, could you look at it in Jungian terms with shadow self?
Maybe, yeah.
Do bad things because humans have the capacity for that too. And Robert Blake may have done, allegedly.
Well, yeah, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole about that earlier.
Yeah.
You did. I found you in the hole. I opened up the trapdoor and I saw you in there. I was like, Sarah, what are you doing in this hole? This is for rabbits. Get out.
You put me there.
I did.
No, and it suddenly occurred to me that years ago I'd listened to a true crime podcast about it because I recognised the name of his wife, who he may or may not have shot in a car. Who knows?
Yeah.
That does add a vibe, doesn't it? Like, I didn't know that at the time. I found it out after when I was researching. But now when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, that adds like, who knows what really happened there? Like, we've got no idea. But it definitely adds to the eeriness of the thing.
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
character.
I saw something on Reddit where someone was like, did he get the idea for killing his wife from this movie? And I was like, you don't need to have been in a movie where someone kills their wife to be like, do you know what? I'd never considered this before, but maybe I'll kill my wife.
Maybe he entered some sort of, as David Lynch would put it, a psychogenic fugue state and thought that Lynch was telling him to kill his wife. Who knows? Maybe that was his defense. I haven't looked into it that deeply.
Yeah.
Imagine if David Lynch was on the stand and he would be forced by law to explain his movies.
I think that's probably the only way you'd have gotten it out of him, yeah.
Yeah. I love the soundtrack to this movie. I think Rammstein is really well used and unexpected.
I mean, I love like 90s industrial David Lynch. I think that like it's so incongruous, but also so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so firmly placed in 1997 and I love it. It's like, I was playing Wipeout, listening to Chemical Brothers and all of that good stuff back then. And Event Horizon, it sort of reminded me a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
The opening techno track that Paul W.S. Anderson put on that movie. I liked that part of it. I liked the soundtrack in this movie. I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
it's
apart
weird.
From the Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Well, and that goes without saying, doesn't it?
I still said it.
I'll be honest, the soundtrack doesn't do a lot for me, but I do think it's weird because you're right, it is really incongruous, but also at the same time kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Like I can't really imagine it being replaced with anything else.
In that podcast that I listened to from Henry Rollins, he talks about how he had these, David Lynch has these huge speakers on set, and he would like play really, really loud music to like get people all chivvied up for the next scene. And he would constantly be playing Rammstein and being like just screaming at Henry Rollins, just like how Rammstein was his favorite band.
Through a megaphone with a giant hat on, presumably.
Yeah. I think Rammstein are one of those bands that like incongruous people like. They're also Jonathan Ross's favorite band.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have guessed that. How weird. You don't hear them crop up on soundtracks very often. Like the only other movie I can think of with a Rammstein song in it is Lilia Forever.
I haven't seen that.
Maybe the most depressing movie I've ever seen, which is saying something. But it worked in that as well.
Yeah. They're, what's the word? Problematic, aren't they?
Oh, are they baddies as well?
I think so.
Oh, God. You just got to start assuming everybody is, haven't you?
I mean, I don't know. I just am a vague receptacle for things that I've read on the internet. So.
Okay.
Hashtag do your own research, guys.
Always.
That's what we always say.
Yeah. So
what
as the premier voice on David Lynch, Jamie, what like so I wrote a note at one point that was just a very kind of flippant take a shot every time it fades to black. Is that something, as somebody who's seen more of his movies than I have, is that something that he does a lot? Or is that sort of specific to the style he was trying to evoke in this particular film?
I don't think it's something that he does a lot. He does use it a little bit in Eraserhead. And like, I think he has used it before in the same way that like Lawrence Kasdan sort of uses those weird wipes.
Yeah, okay.
But like, you only really think of it in Empire Strikes Back. So like, or Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. So like, this is, I think, his most fade to blacky movie.
Okay. It sort of fits with the noir aspect, I think.
Yeah. And like, he's sort of drawing you into the darkness. I feel like the way that, that Bill Pullman is lit all the way through this, I think it's the, when I mentioned like the Matrix and Dark City, I think it's the lighting, the way that characters' faces are lit more than anything else that really sort of reminds me of those. But like, it does have that really sort of almost black and white, no contrast approach to lighting, specifically Bill Pullman. Sort of the way that, who directed The Addams Family, but you know, like how every time you get a Warner of Morticia, it's like,
oh yeah, like the Universal Monsters lighting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So I watched in my research, I watched a couple of YouTube videos. One of the creators was called Place Real, I believe. And I can't remember the other one, but I will try and put it in the notes. But there was there's a theory that this was sort of David Lynch's response to circular plagiarism, I guess. Because obviously his early films happened, and then Oliver Stone made, I think there's a TV miniseries called Wild Palms that was referenced, and Natural Born Killers, and Tarantino wrote True Romance, and then Lost Highway apparently is like his response to that, to the accused plagiarism of those projects, like cribbing from his earlier work.
Like I can see that, but then Wild at Heart is cribbed from Badlands and Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah,
so like it's
okay.
Maybe that's part of that circular plagiarism, is like that people are iterating generationally. I haven't seen this video, so maybe that's what they touch on. But like, yeah, that sort of generational iterative approach. I was thinking when I was watching Lost Highway for this, and it might just be because I'm in the middle of a Lost rewatch, but I was like, the sort of J.J. Abrams mystery box approach to like media creation that spawned like you Drew Goddard's and many other people. And that feels like a very sort of Hollywood brat interpretation of like the stuff that David Lynch is doing. I feel like there's a real through line between like this movie specifically and something like Lost.
Yeah, I can see that actually. I wouldn't necessarily have put that together myself, but I can see it.
Yeah, I think like someone like a J.J. Abrams is a lot more interested in hearing himself speak, and therefore will like make his way to an ending, even if it's nonsense. I like the Lost ending, whatever, but like they'll sort of explain too much, and it'll become like, all right, when I didn't know, this was great.
Yeah, didn't need to be spoon fed.
Yeah,
we don't need to know why the polar bears were there.
No.
Although they do sort of tell you, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost was good. Well, Sarah, you enjoyed that show, didn't you?
I did. I actually did.
It's a good show.
We binged it last year, was it?
Yeah.
Had you not watched it before?
I'd watched season 1 when it first aired, and for whatever reason, never returned to it. But I got super into it.
We binged it really quickly.
Yeah, we stormed through it. I found it like a surprisingly easy watch.
Yeah. I think like
especially if you are watching it that way, if you are binging it. I remember back in the day, like I think I watched the first 2 seasons when it aired, I think, and then I dropped off. But then when another couple of seasons came out, I went and rented them from Blockbusters. That's how long ago that was. And then caught up with them.
I was watching it completely legally and not using anything on the internet. And because I had to wait a week, sometimes way longer between episodes, or seasons or whatever, I would watch the episode like 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
In between, because I loved it so much. And I was one of those absolute marks for it where I would just be looking at everything in the back and digging into stuff and being on forums and all kinds of idiot stuff.
World's leading expert on Lost. You have to come on when we do Lost.
Yeah. Do a Lost season where you do all 6 seasons of Lost in translation, and that's it.
Is there a movie called Lost Paradise?
Oh, there's Lost Highway. We could do that. We could do it again.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
We'll morph into younger versions of ourselves and do it again.
Oh, if only that was real. I would love that. I want 25-year-old Sarah's joints back, please.
So do I. I want my 25-year-old joints back too.
I thought you meant Sarah's. If you were going to morph into a young actor, which young actor would you pick? Which rising star would you be?
Balthazar Getty.
It would not be Balthazar Getty. No. That's an interesting question. Based on what? Based on how they look? Based on their acting prowess?
I don't know. I guess they have to be a sort of similar vibe to you. I think that, I don't know, the weird sort of Mike Pattonness of Balthazar Getty kind of tracks to Bill Pullman's character in this. So I think the vibes have to sort of embody some sort of vibe that current you would have.
Oh, I don't know. See, there's a couple, but it would just be pure wish fulfillment on my part and not based on vibes. Do you
I know
have
what
one?
my answer would be. My answer would be, I want to turn into Jared Leto and I'll jump off a bridge. Simple. Do some good for the world, you know?
I like it.
I don't want to be anyone else. So I might as well become him for 20 seconds.
Do something good for humanity.
To find a bridge. Yeah. If there's no bridge nearby, then I'm sure I can find some petrol and a lighter.
Do you have an answer, Jamie?
Chunk from the Goonies. I don't know.
Isn't he like
He's a lawyer
now? Yeah.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter.
Interesting. Okay.
Ryder Strong when he was in Boy Meets World.
He had very good hair.
He did. So, I mean, I don't have any hair, so that doesn't work. A young actor that's working now, all I can think of is the kids from Stranger Things. They're the only young actors.
They're the only ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in their 30s now.
Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard.
Great name.
I've got a question. Who do you think is the horniest David out of Lynch and Cronenberg?
Cronenberg.
Do you reckon? I think I'm probably leaning towards Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Because
You did watch Crash the other day, didn't you?
I did watch, yeah. With that fresh in my mind, definitely Cronenberg.
Have you considered the Crash Titan like double bill?
I like both movies, so it'll probably happen one day.
Yeah. I love James Spader, and I will watch him in everything, including The Blacklist, which I'm currently watching.
Robert California.
Yeah, me and my ex made me watch The Office because I'd never watched it. I'd seen bits of it, but I never got into it. And we watched, I don't know, however much of it we'd watched, and then I was like, oh, James Spader showed up. Now it's got good.
Oh, so your journey was the complete opposite to everybody else.
Literally, I quite like Catherine Tate.
Oh, no, can't stand her.
I didn't care much for Idris Elba.
Okay, controversial opinion.
I mean, in The Office, not generally.
Yeah,
I'm not a racist. I like The Wire.
Look, you said it. I didn't throw around a single accusation. That sounds like something a racist would say.
I feel like a racist wouldn't say I'm not a racist.
That's true. A covert racist.
Yeah.
But they don't tend to be, do they?
Like when Norm Macdonald went on Larry King and said that he's very deeply closeted. And Larry King was like, so you're gay? And he's like, well, no, I'm not gay.
Okay.
If I said that I was gay, then I wouldn't be closeted.
Oh, I see. Clever.
Yeah. I'm not racist.
I knew that he wasn't racist when you joined the call, Jamie, because you're wearing that black and white minstrels t-shirt.
Yeah. I mean, the t-shirt is black and white, and I just love the chocolate. That's it.
Very good. Swerve it about confectionery.
Exactly. Do film, the film that we're talking about. In fact, not the film. Do you think that Bill Pullman, and I had never noticed this before, do you think that he looks like Kieran Culkin?
Oh my God.
Never thought about that before either.
There were some shots in this movie where I paused it and I was like, I'm looking at Kieran Culkin.
Oh, don't ruin him for me.
It's the floppy hair, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no.
Do you not like Kieran Culkin?
I like Kieran Culkin just fine. I just don't fancy him.
Okay.
Or maybe I do, apparently. Who knows?
Maybe this has unlocked something.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton were like interchangeable to a lot of people because of their names, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think for maybe 20 years of my life, I thought Bill Pullman was in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, Jeff Daniels. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Have either of you... Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, have either of you heard the theory that this film is kind of, I guess, a treatise on film itself?
I haven't heard that, but I always hate that as an explanation for films.
There is some compelling evidence, though.
Well, lay it on me.
Okay, well, the video that I watched kind of went through a bunch of stuff. There are a couple moments where it looks like Bill Pullman specifically is kind of breaking the fourth wall, like staring straight down the lens. And there aren't really any other explanations that would make that make sense. There's a lot of stuff in terms of, again, when he walks down that corridor into the darkness, the general thinking in this theory is that he's sort of walking offset because everywhere outside of set is in like shrouded in darkness, and only the actors, in place are being lit. The part where they leave the party and they come home early and they see the lights in the house. The theory is that that's the lighting crew setting up because the characters are back early. The stuff with the video camera, because it looks more professionally filmed than you would expect from somebody with a handheld camcorder.
As the world's foremost lynchologist, I think, and this is the thing on the compelling evidence that you've seen, but the way that you've laid it out, that's bollocks.
There is a lot more than just that. Like, this was an hour-long video that I watched.
Okay.
So there's no way for me to break it down in a more succinct way, really. But yeah, I'm not sure I buy the theory either. But it was definitely interesting, and I appreciate a film that spawns so many different theories. I like some ambiguity in my movies.
Had a few of those recently, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean,
of an ambiguous one, especially in this season.
I was going to say, like, ambiguity and mind-bending stuff seems to go hand in hand with liminal spaces for whatever reason.
Yeah,
confusion is a big one, isn't it? Confusion.
Well, for you, yeah.
On my part, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think is the liminal space in Lost Highway? Do you think it's the space between Fred and Pete? Like, where do you see that liminality?
You could argue it's the highway itself. The Lost Highway Hotel kind of serves as a liminal space. Like a bunch of stuff, because it's not exactly very densely populated wherever they go, and it all feels pretty dreamlike.
Yeah, I was thinking about the cabin that they go to, where they go to meet the fence, and they have that sort of sex scene, and then we watch it explode, and then it unexplodes, and then it explodes again, and then like that was a real okay, David, what's going on here then, mate?
Yeah, I mean, if you Google liminal space movies, which I did at the start, obviously when I was putting my list together, this is on every listicle. This is kind of top 3. And I sort of think it has to be, because it ticks all the boxes, really.
Is this season all just prep to get you ready for the back rooms?
Maybe. I am excited
When's
for
that coming out?
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Obviously, the highway as a liminal space is interesting, because I think what the highway in this is representing is that, like, highways are super linear. If you get on the road, you're going from point A to point B. If you're meeting Renee and you're Fred and you're falling in love, and then she's, existing with her own agency and doing her own things that maybe piss you off, the end of that road is you murdering her. And it's the same whether you're Fred or whether you're Balthazar Getty. Like, you're fixed on a track and you're going from point A to point B.
Yeah. I mean, liminal spaces can literally just be like a transitory space, and that's literally what roads are. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Do you know who we've not even talked about?
Richard Pryor.
We haven't talked about Richard Pryor. There's quite a few cast members we haven't touched on. This was Richard Pryor's final role, wasn't it?
Do you think that
I believe so, yeah.
That David Lynch was just like, I think you're cool? So I know that with Henry Rollins, he called him up, or his agent called him up and was like, David Lynch wants you to be in his next movie. And he's like, well, obviously I'm going to be in that movie. And David Lynch rang him and was like, do you want to come and be in this movie? And he was like, yes, I'll come wherever you want me to go now, and I will sign whatever you need me to sign right now. So I think that David Lynch is just a guy that's like, I've got the power to be like, I like this person. Come on down and be in my movie. And that's how I would imagine that Richard Pryor ends up in this. Yeah,
probably, because it's such a minor, almost thankless role, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's his last role, and I would say he's 15 seconds from literally dying.
Yeah, he didn't look like a well man, let's say that. But,
It was bittersweet for me because Superman 3, Richard Pryor, 80s and 90s was all over the place, and I loved him. Really funny comedic actor.
Yeah.
So it was really, I didn't expect him to be in this, and I saw him and it was great, but also a bit heartbreaking. But I take it. I take it if I get another Richard Pryor performance. But you're probably right, Jamie. Like David Lynch is so well respected, even though his films are not, I guess, commercially successful for the most part. I'm guessing. I haven't really dug into that. But they're so critically lauded that people were falling over themselves to work with him. Not least Giovanni Ribisi, who we all love.
Is that
I respect all of his religious views.
No, we talk about Scientology way too much on this podcast already, so I'd like to gloss over Giovanni Ribisi.
I didn't know that he was a Scientologist.
No way. Did you not?
I didn't know that, no. Oh, it's a shame. I loved Sneaky Pete.
I tried to. I couldn't get on with that show.
I mean, I liked it. Who's the other guy? Who's Pete?
Oh, Ethan Embry.
Yeah. Like, I like, in series 1, obviously, he's pretending to be Ethan Embry, Giovanni Ribisi. But then in season 2, Ethan Embry comes back and he's like, well, okay, now you have to pretend to be me. It becomes a whole absolute shenanigans. It's great. I love it.
Okay. Well, now you're sort of selling me on it.
Also, Ethan Embry's great.
Agreed. He should be in more stuff.
He should. That scene in The Guest where he is the gun runner or whatever. Like he's made for that now. Long way from Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma.
Yeah.
Okay,
who
so
else is there?
Who did you want to talk about?
Well, there's Michael Massey with John Waters' facial hair for some reason.
I mean, he gets that great moment where, I mean, his best stuff is when he's dead.
Yeah.
When he's attached to the coffee table.
Yeah. So good.
I do enjoy that. When he sort of dives headfirst into it.
Yeah, he Ted Beneke's directly into it. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
And like, it's just a really, because like he's there in all the close-ups, like it's just like they've cut the corner off the coffee table and he's just like leaning on it and like trying his best to be as still as possible. It's just really good. Yeah. Who else we got? We got the voice of Mink Stole.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I saw her in the credits and I was like, I don't remember her. I don't remember seeing her face in this.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Waters.
Yeah. She's very just a John Waters person forever in my brain.
Yeah, me too.
And like we've obviously talked about Henry Rollins, who's really quite bad in this.
I don't think he's a very good actor at all. Well, he's definitely improved.
Yeah,
I will say that.
He should be in movies where he doesn't talk.
Yeah,
he's got a good presence.
Agreed. Did you? There was a film, God, probably about a decade ago now, where he played like a fallen angel or something.
Yeah, He Never Died.
That's it. Yeah, he was all right in that. I seem to remember. But kind of gruff, didn't say a great deal. It was sort of perfect for him.
Yeah, I think, like, I'm a sucker for Henry Rollins, so I'll watch anything that he's in. But I'm always just like, oh, mate, be quiet. Which obviously he's not very good at doing. That's his whole thing.
He is a talker.
Yeah, chatty Cathy. Did you know Patricia Arquette is 29 in this? She's such an ageless person. She could be 20. She could be 45. Like you would never know.
Yeah, less so now because she hasn't done what the rest of Hollywood has done and, de-aged herself into Uncanny Valley, which I appreciate.
Yeah, she hasn't taken the substance.
She hasn't taken the substance, no. But yeah, no, I've always thought Patricia Arquette was a little bit sort of, I hesitate to use the word underrated because she's almost a household name.
Yeah.
But underappreciated, maybe. It sounds weird to say that about, Oscar winner. But I don't hear enough people talking about her outside of like Severance these days.
I thought she was quite bad in They Will Kill You.
What was that accent? Oh my God, yeah. I did quite enjoy that film though. It was a one and done, but I thought it was all right.
I didn't care for it.
But yeah, she's great in this. I know I saw a brief snippet of an interview where she kind of said that she'd crafted two very distinct personalities, but then David Lynch told her to kind of do away with that because it was the same person.
Yeah, one of them had a fringe.
Yes. Yeah. One was blonde. That's how you know they're different.
Yeah. I don't have that sort of special relationship with Patricia Arquette, really. I mean, True Romance was one of the first 2 DVDs I ever bought.
Okay.
It's Goodfellas and True Romance. I think they were the only DVDs that Our Price had on, like, I don't know, Boxing Day in 1999 or something. When I was like, I've got a DVD player for Christmas, so I'm gonna go buy some DVDs.
Gotcha.
And like, obviously she's in Dream Warriors, but I've never really had that sort of very close relationship with her.
Okay. Yeah, I have some fond memories of watching Patricia Arquette movies growing up, I suppose. I don't know why. This is really sad, but the one that always springs to mind is I don't know, is it Prayer of the Roller Boys or Prayer for the Roller Boys? That's it's Corey Haim and Patricia Arquette, and it's written by the person who wrote Point Break.
Oh,
and it wasn't until I found that out that I was like, it's the same film. This person's gotten away with writing the same film twice.
Well, so is David Lynch, though, right? Like, I think you're right, Dan, that like there is a lot of connective tissue between Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive.
Not least because the tailgating scene where Mr. Eddie kind of goes insane on that the driver.
Yeah.
Apparently that is on Mulholland Drive, like roughly the same place where the accident happens in Mulholland Drive. So there's some crossover, there's some overlap.
Yeah. I mean, I love Mulholland Drive. The film that Mulholland Drive reminds me of, and like in the way that this reminds me of The Matrix, like I think the Wachowskis and David Lynch are quite similar.
Okay.
And so like if you think about Bound and Mulholland Drive as like a kind of a piece, they're super linked in my brain.
Bound's quite noiry as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I think like the way that, I don't know if it was just the way that we were lighting people in the sort of back end of the 90s, but like there's a real similar look across a bunch of the Wachowskis movies, a bunch of David Lynch movies. It's particularly of this time, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, once again, as our resident David Lynch expert, do you think he's deserving of the reputation that he sort of accumulated over the years?
Well, yeah, I do. I think that his enthusiasm really shines through in all of his films, even when the films themselves don't feel remotely optimistic or enthusiastic in any way. Like, I think that Lost Highway particularly is quite almost like a dour film. It's like, it's quite...
Yeah.
It's also like for a film where someone's head gets like partly cut off on a coffee table and a bunch of stuff explodes and gangsters are going ham on people at the side of the road. Like, it doesn't feel exciting. It all feels like it's quite low energy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the filmmaking never feels low energy. It feels like, I don't know, it's like it sort of sweeps you up in it, almost like a Stephen Wright like stand-up special, like that sort of monotone approach, but like you're still sort of following it along and laughing and getting from A to B or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I think there's something really special about David Lynch in the way that he can do some of that strange stuff. And like, obviously he doesn't think in the same way that a lot of other people think. thinks. But he does have a sort of singular approach, but also I think it's really quite accessible. Sort of, it's not those Crispin Glover directorial movies that
Yeah.
I like, but they're obviously very influenced by David Lynch. And there's a really good scene with Crispin Glover in Wild at Heart, which is my favorite scene in the movie. It's just him making loads and loads of sandwiches. And I think that Crispin Glover was really inspired by David Lynch, and that's why there's a sort of flavor in those movies, but like they feel impenetrably insane. Whereas I think even in the twistiest and most mind-bending David Lynch movies, there are still like little outcrops that you can grab hold of that will keep you moored for as long as you need to be. There is a real sort of sense of unmooring, particularly in the three that we've sort of mentioned the most, which is this, Inland Empire, and Mulholland Drive. But like the idea that we have these familiar faces and these like Hollywood actors, I guess like Naomi Watts wasn't that when she was in Mulholland Drive, but like the fact that these people are people that we recognize and people that we understand the context for more generally allows you to be able to be a bit more loosey goosey with them. And I think that's the magic of David Lynch, really, is knowing when to be weird and when to be mainstream, or not mainstream, but straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing I've always sort of got the impression of is that while his films are kind of, or can be quite dense and obtuse, I think was a word you used the other day when we were messaging, which is spot on. It never feels sort of performative. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like he's trying to be an edgelord and just be weird for the sake of it. It just feels like he's being authentic.
Yeah.
No matter how weird it gets, it feels like, oh yeah, it's this guy. And I quite like that. And I think a lot of people have tried to ape that style. I'm not familiar with the Crispin Glover stuff that you're talking about, so I can't comment on that. But I think a lot of people try to mimic that style, but without the capability and without the authenticity. And it does just come across as like, oh, well, this is just weird for the sake of being weird. Whereas with David Lynch, it felt like there was a point at least.
I would really recommend those Crispin Glover films.
Okay.
If you want to watch, I don't know, a more impenetrable David Lynch film that is cast entirely with people with Down syndrome, then yeah, those Crispin Glover movies are perfect for you.
That's exactly what I wanted to watch. How did you know?
It's he's like those Crispin Glover movies are like David Lynch without the compassion.
Right, okay. That sounds about right. That's what I would expect from Crispin Glover, to be honest.
Yeah. I think they're great, but the David Lynch to me is sort of like David Byrne. You can there's a way to be eccentric and obtuse in a way that people can just sort of understand and get behind.
Yeah. I think it is just because it feels real.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they're putting it on. It's not a character. It's just, they're just a quirky guy.
Yeah. I wonder did they ever work together? I wonder if they did.
I don't know if they didn't, and that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? Do you think you are more or less inclined to delve into more of Lynch's work now?
Less.
Less. Okay. What about Crispin Glover's?
I've seen Back to the Future. That's probably enough for me.
Okay.
No, Lynch is not my flavour, really. It's not. It's too. I feel like I'm not bright enough for it, or something. And I do agree. I think this is really his most simple film that I've seen, anyway. but it's still like very confusing to me, and I
But
find that so frustrating. And
I feel
I
like
find
that's
this movie very.
self-doubt talking.
But I think it's. I also found this movie very depressing as well, and it actually put me in a bit of a downer mood. And I don't like feeling that. Like I'm the main reason that I watch movies is for entertainment, and also if you get a little bit extra in it, then great. I do enjoy unpacking films, but usually if a film is depressing to me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to deal with that. And I did find this to be quite depressing in places. But no, I think for me, I think I've just got to accept that David Lynch is just not someone that's for me. And I'm sure we'll cover another one. I'm sure we'll watch more. Doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it. I love David Lynch, the man. I think he's an absolute legend. His interviews are great. Like he seemed like he's a visionary, and I'm so glad that he existed and brought this art, which people really love, into the world, and I love it for that. It's just not. It's not my flavour. It's too weird for me. I like explosions and Scott Adkins movies, Sarah. You know this.
Nobody was kicked in the head in this.
I think you should give Wild at Heart a try.
Is that the Nicolas Cage one?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern, Willem Dafoe. Like, it's very much in the Natural Born Killers, True Romance. But I think it's better than both of those films, and both of those films are great films.
Okay. I think, if I'm going to continue my Lynch journey, I think I'm probably going to go with that one. I've always felt the need to watch Eraserhead for some reason, because I feel like everybody talks about it. And the poster, the cover image is always something that I always remember for some reason. Tall hair. But I think Wild at Heart might be the next Lynch thing I do, but it'll be a while, I think. Inland Empire, 3 hours long, and it's more confusing than Lost Highway. No.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to...
I'm on my own for that one, am I?
If you want to watch it, you go ahead and watch it. But see how long 5 minutes in, I'll be making a cup of tea, I expect.
I think if you're going to watch any bit of Inland Empire, there's a sitcom that's like partway through it that is just rabbits. Like a rabbit sitcom, which was actually a short film that he made that he's just sort of put into the middle of this other thing. And also Inland Empire was the pilot of a TV show that never got made.
Oh, right.
So it's basically like a sort of nebulous string of TV plots that didn't really get to go anywhere.
Sounds great.
I mean, the rabbits stuff is really good.
Okay, well, I'll watch it and I'll pause it
on YouTube.
There we go. So I think that about covers Lost Highway. What are we doing next time, Dan?
Well, I think you're right. I think we have covered Lost Highway. I think we've unpacked all of it and nailed it. I think you'll agree. Jamie is the world's leading expert in David Lynch.
We haven't solved it, so we have to carry on, right?
I think we've solved it.
We've solved it
remember?
as much as we can.
Do you remember that bit in the middle of the show where we solved it?
Yes.
Did you forget? Because there's a hallway and it's dark sometimes, and if you walk in it, there's a magic.
Yep. Nailed it.
Yeah.
It's like The Mask. Have you seen The Mask with Jim Carrey? Not the Eric Stoltz one. It's like you put a mask on and you turn into someone else. It's a bit like that, but it's David Lynch's vision.
Yeah.
But so he found a Balthazar Getty mask, is what you're saying? Sure. Okay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So thanks for helping us nail that, Jamie. Liminal Spaces continues next week, Sarah. Can you remember what we're doing next week?
I think so. Is it It Follows?
That's right.
Oh, do another take where I say it confidently then. Yes, I know what we're doing. It's It Follows. Seamless. There we go. I've covered that movie before and I'm quite excited to talk about it again. I like that one.
Very nice.